shit! Whoa, where you going? That is a red one! You need to come out right now.
What's up, you guys? My name is Alex Hampton, and today I'll be giving you my review of Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Yeah, that was a terrible impression, but I thought I'd do something different. But if this is your very first time ever watching any of my videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, then hit that bell right next to it, that we get all the notifications of every time releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. Guys, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button as well. That helps our videos in the algorithm every time we're putting out content. So if you hit that like button, that definitely helps us out as well. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Now, the last couple of years, I've been very critical about the Venom franchise, the Venom movie. As you guys know, I was not a huge fan of the first movie, and I was very skeptical about going into this movie. Now, I did not go see this movie opening day, but I did go see it this weekend, and I have to say, just giving you my honest thoughts about this movie, I actually liked it better than the first movie. I did enjoy this movie better than the first movie, but I'm gonna break everything down. There's gonna be a minor spoilers. We're gonna talk about the post-credit scene and what that means, but I'm gonna talk about the pros first. So the great thing about this movie is the characters. I mean, Woody Harrelson as Carnage and Tom Hardy as Venom. I mean, they did an amazing job on screen. It was gold every time they were on screen. I actually liked the banter between Eddie and Venom, how their relationship was rising and falling at the same time. I think them having a conflict of morals and values about, Venom wanting to feed into his natural instincts and Eddie trying to tame him for what he is. I mean, I thought just that interesting dynamic was actually pretty cool. The funny moments in this movie were actually really funny at sometimes, and at other times they were kind of not funny. I mean, there's some things that you kind of saw coming, but there's some things that actually made me giggle, made me kind of shout a little bit. But I think they did a good job cohesively telling a cohesive story in regards to building the characters that we got introduced from the first movie. Cletus Cassidy, again, seeing his motivation of who he is and why he does what he does. I mean, this was ripped from the comic book. So I did enjoy that interpretation of Carnage, because as I was watching Carnage on the screen, it was everything that I read in the comic book. So I enjoyed the characters. Some of the other side characters, like Eddie's love interest, I didn't really feel like she necessarily needed to be there, but I'll get into that within my cons. However, in terms of the pros, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the banter between these said characters. Also, let me just say, the fighting and the CGI was so much better in this movie than it was in the previous movie. The previous movie, I thought the CGI was just garbage, but in this movie, they kind of perfected it in a way where when Venom and Carnage are fighting, it looks clean. It looks like two symbiotes that are supposed to be fighting each other, not indwelling in a big slimy mess in the first movie, which was idiotic. So here's what I did not like about this movie. Now, if I'm being honest, like I stated before, I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed Cletus Cassidy. I enjoyed Eddie Brock. I enjoyed a lot of the things that they brought to the table in regards to this movie. However, if I'm being honest, this movie lacks pacing. There were a lot of things that happened in this movie that did not need to happen. Just to get into some spoiler territory, there's a scene where Eddie and Venom are fighting each other, like infighting with one another, and Venom goes to a different host, and he basically lives his life the way he wants to live his life, in a sense, by being liked and having people accept him for who he is. But in the beginning of the film, he wanted to be a savage. He wanted to eat people's heads off. He wanted to be this sentient being, but when he got that opportunity to do that, he didn't do it, which didn't make any sense. And there's this really weird club scene where he just shows up at the club, talking about Eddie in a negative light, as though these people know who he's talking about, and they're just cheering for him. But it didn't make any sense, because it just felt like that scene was just out of place for me. Another thing I did not like. I did not like how Cletus became Carnage. I think that was just poor writing and storytelling. Having him bite Eddie and being infected by Carnage. I mean, how come the other people who were that Venom was using as a host weren't infected by him to offspring more Carnages, if you will? I mean, me personally, if I'm being honest, there are a lot of things in this movie that don't necessarily make a lot of sense. Again, with the pacing, I didn't necessarily feel like I was caught up. I felt like it was kind of rushed in a sense, and also I did believe the weird psychotic relationship between Cletus and his lifelong partner. I believe her name is Scream or Screech, but she winds up being Carnage's downfall towards the end of the movie. So at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it was a good film for what it was. This is not a film I wouldn't necessarily go buy a ticket to go see again. However, if I'm being honest, it's definitely a step up from the last film. It is definitely entertaining. Again, there were some things that I did kind of find kind of off about it, but if I'm being 100% honest, this is definitely another step in the right direction. Now we're going to jump into that post-credit scene. Now, guys, if you have not seen this movie, do not watch this part of the video, okay? Do not watch it because this post-credit scene was crazy. Now, I knew that going into this movie, there was going to be some reference of Spider-Man of some sort, right? In the post-credit scene, we see the effects of Venom being brought into the MCU by Doctor Strange's spell, and he's looking at a TV screen with J. Jonah Jameson, and J. Jonah Jameson's revealing Peter Parker's identity to the world as Spider-Man, and Venom is looking at the TV and starts licking the TV like, who is he? As though that they're teasing that these two entities are finally going to meet up and fight off. What I got from that that post-credit scene is that Venom's probably going to be involved in Spider-Man No Way Home in some way, shape, or form. We don't know if he's going to be a full-on character. We don't know if he's going to be just a cameo. We do know that he could be involved in some way, shape, or form. Also, this post-credit scene for me kind of teases the fact that other Spider-Men are going to be in this movie, because in the post-credit scene, they're pulling Venom from his own separate universe into the MCU. When we got to see the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, they literally have pulled these different characters from the different Spider-Man movies into the MCU. So whatever happens at this point with the MCU and their Spider-Man characters, I have a feeling that this confirms that not only Venom is a part of the MCU now, but Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this movie in some way, shape, or form because of that post-credit scene. That post-credit scene has now solidified the fact that these other Spider-Verses do exist within the MCU. So I'm actually interested to see what the implications are going to be. I'm actually interested to see how far they're going to take this. I don't think that Venom will be a full-fledged MCU character. I do think that this will probably be the last of the Sony Disney deal with Spider-Man, or they could expand things. However, this is going to be interesting. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to see Venom Let There Be Carnage, because I wanted to see in what capacity and also in what context they will be introducing Spider-Man to this to his character. So I can't wait to see what they do. But now that I've gotten out the way, you can now that's spoiler territory. Now that I've gotten out the way, you guys can come back to the video. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you get all the updates of every time I'm releasing a video here on Momentum Media. Guys, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button. Again, it helps our videos in the algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, have a blessed day.